And a very good evening to everyone, and welcome to the RP Lumber Center here in Edwardsville. This is take number 2. I was on there and got about halfway through the opening, and all of a sudden I looked down and nothing was working anymore. So hopefully that will not happen again. I've gone through this a couple of times now here at this place, so hopefully this one will stick. But anyway, we are here, and we are here for some playoff hockey. Your Collinsville Cahoks get ready to take on Triad in game number 2 of this first round Class 1A series after Triad won last night. So Collinsville comes in here at 17-2 on the year. They are 0-1 in the playoffs after last night's loss to their head coach, Craig Duffy, in his 4th year. Now his record of 37-63-7. Triad, they are 10-14-1 after last night, and they are, of course, 1-0 in the playoffs. Pat Kuhlebrook is their head coach, and he is into his 13th year. Well, the Canucks come into the second game of a first-round best-of-3 Class 1A playoff contest, needing a win to force a winner-takes-all game number 3 Thursday night against Triad at the Granite City Ice Arena. Last night in the opening game of this series, Triad jumped out to an early lead on Jacob Perschbacher's 16th goal of the season at the 8:42 mark of the first period. Collinsville tied it up with just over a minute left in the first on senior Owen Stinnet's team-leading 25th goal of the year. The Canucks took the lead 5:20 into the second period on junior Nolan Duffy's 14th of the year. Collinsville's 2-1 lead didn't last long when the Knights' Aston Blevins tied the game at 2. Just 1 minute and 20 seconds later, it was Blevins' team-leading 17th goal on the year. With 4.5 left in the second, Triad's Tyler Davis scored his second of the year to give Triad a 3-2 lead, a lead they never relinquished the rest of the way. The Knights put in an empty net goal with just 9 seconds left in the third period by Blevins, his 18th of the season, to supply the final nail in the coffin. The Cahoks lost that game last night by a score of 4-2. As far as the goalies, Triad's Mac Kadich made 15 saves on 17 shots, while Collinsville's senior keeper Ezra Fryman stopped 33 of 36 shots he faced. Coming into the game number 1 matchup, Collinsville finished the regular season strong with a 5-3-1 January after going through their first 2 months of the season with a 1-13-1 record in November and December combined. Triad went through a very even Steven season with 3 wins in every month of the regular season. The Knights went 3-5 in November, 3-5-1 in December, and 3-4 in January. The team split their 2 games this season. Triad won 5-3 in the season's 3rd game of the year on Veterans Day at East Alton, and then Collinsville beat the Knights 7-4 at Granite City. Not too long ago, that game was back on January the 22nd. Well, we lost last Monday's game due to snow and the fact that Edwardsville decided to cancel that one, and so we didn't get a chance to finish up our senior interview, so we're going to do that next as we continue on here with the LC's Pub pregame show on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
And we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. We are at the LP Lumber Center in Edwardsville, and it is playoff time for the world of high school hockey as your Collinsville Cahoks get ready to take on the Triad Knights. Game number 2 after a loss last night at the East Alton Wood River Rink. And we're going to finish up our senior interviews with our very last senior on the roster this year, David Hearn, number 94, forward, 4-year varsity Kahok hockey player. All right, David. Let's get to know you a little bit better. Let's start off with the family. Let's do mom and dad, brothers, sisters, and don't forget the pets.
All right, so my mom and dad, very grateful. They put me in this program. Couldn't be more blessed with it. Their name's Jen and Jerry, you know, and I got 3 brothers actually. One, my oldest, he's 21. His name's Luke. Got an 18-year-old brother, just graduated last year. He's 18. His name's Caden. And youngest brother, he's 11. So his name's Nolan. Big age gap between him and my oldest brother, but we all get along, we're brothers.
Got any pets?
Yeah, I do got. I got 2 pets. One's she's been with me since I was 6 years old. Her name's Roxy. She's a beagle. And I got a cat too. Her name's Peaches, and she's about 10 years old. So,
Roxy and Peaches. Awesome names, man. All right, man. Tell me your hockey story. Who got you started in the world of hockey, and how old were you when that journey began?
so I've loved hockey forever. Grew up Blues fans. My dad's a big Blues fan, and since I was a kid, I've always had an interest in it. And first time playing hockey was actually in my backyard. Bought some roller skates, and we got a little platform out there to skate around on, and got some more cheap skates off of Amazon. Started shooting it at the net out there, and I started playing at Edwardsville. They got the Edwardsville YMCA. They got a roller hockey league there, and for about 2 years I played there and enjoyed it. And Ryan Shea, the old head coach, told me I should come out and try some Kahok hockey. So in 8th grade I went and played for them, and been here ever since.
How much different was it doing roller hockey than using blades?
See, so first time I came out there, I couldn't stop. I had to go straight to the boards because roller hockey and ice hockey is definitely different, friction-wise. So you glide and you just got to be able to stop. And I eventually caught on to it and didn't have to use the boards no more. And they worked with me a lot to be where I am today.
I've never been on a pair of ice skates in my life, so I envy you for that, sir. All right, let's find out a little bit more about you. This is the favorite things category. Your favorite things, favorite sweet snack.
My favorite sweet snack, I love the Nerd Gummy Clusters. They're a great one. Definitely heard they're cancer causing, might stop eating them, but I probably won't love them things. And I don't know, I like some Reese's Peanut Butter Cups too.
That's one of my favorites, but I get the gummy things a lot too. Favorite salty snack.
I'd have to say some sort of chips. I don't know. I like Cheez-Its a lot too. Just plain old Cheez-Its. Can't go wrong with those.
All right, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Which one of those 3 is your favorite?
I gotta be dinner. I eat a lot of pasta. Actually, I ate some today. It's probably about my favorite meal. Get a lot of carbs in there. It's dinner. Everybody's at the table, share stories from the day. It's a family event.
All right, so you got a favorite restaurant? Is it going to be Olive Garden?
Oh, that's a good one. I like this place in Troy called Alfonso's. Good Italian restaurant. I used to work there for a little bit, cooking pizzas, but they became family to me, and they got some real good stuff.
I remember going there, man. They used to have a batting cage outside. All right, music genre. What is your favorite kind of music?
I definitely say country music. I play a lot of it myself. I play live music, and I do a lot of studying in that genre, and just some old 90s country. Driving down the road, you love listening to that stuff. And yeah, I mean there's a few other genres, like I like rock and stuff, before the games. That'll get me going. No rap. Not a big rap fan, but yeah, country rock, that's good stuff.
All right, so you got a favorite group or a favorite artist in the country genre?
So I like a little bit older and modern stuff. Hank Williams Jr., yeah, I'm a big fan of him. I try to be like him one day. And current artist, this guy named Waylon Wyatt. He's about a year older than me, and he's done a lot of pretty amazing things at a young age, and try to follow his music too. So,
all right, school favorites. What is your least favorite class in high school?
Got to be math. I mean, a lot of people have that same answer, but I kind of struggled at math for a couple years, and A's and B's back and forth. But yeah, walking into algebra class head down, not a big fan of that.
I bet not, man. Neither am I. Favorite class in school?
This isn't really a, subject, but Woods class, it's a vocational classes. That's what Collinsville, that's their flagship program. Just how many amazing vocational classes we got there. I'm in building trades too, so it'd be between woods and building trades, getting to work with my hands.
Yep, well, that was one of my favorite classes at Collinsville too. Future, what is going to happen with David Hearn when you graduate?
So I've actually spoke to a few people, and I'm getting a good plan together right now, but I'm going to the electrical field, joining the union, local 649 in Alton, trying to get an apprenticeship this fall. I've already applied and stuff, and hopefully get the call, get in, and be set for a real good career.
All right, man, shout out time for you. Who out there would you like to say hi to?
I'd probably have to say my girlfriend. I broke my ankle about 2 months ago, and she's done a lot for me in that time. Her name's Maya Crawford, and she she had to drive me around everywhere, and help me get some food in my stomach, and she's done a lot of awesome things while I've been out, and she's gave me the confidence to get back on the ice and stuff, and a lot. So I really appreciate her.
All right, man. You guys got Triad tonight. You lost to them last night, 4-2. So, what did you learn from last night's game? You can put into tonight's game to extend this into a winner-take-all game 3 on Thursday.
So we kind of came out slow last night. We need to have more enthusiasm going into the game and more of an aggressive mindset. Triad's a good physical team, and they're going to try everything to set us off course. And we just can't let the little things get to us, and keep our heads on straight and bring home the win. Hopefully, we got a potential game Thursday, so got to get through tonight, be aggressive, come out strong, and play as a team. It takes a team to win.
All right, man. David Hearn, thank you very much. Good luck to you tonight. Good luck to you in your future. Thanks for the visit.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Todd Duke.
All right, that is David Hearn, number 94 on your roster. We'll take a break here on the LC's Pub pregame show. Starters and stats, all that and more coming up next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420.
Once again, we welcome you back here to the RP Lumber Center. My name is Todd Duke. Jeremy Hudson is going to be our cameraman tonight. He doesn't even have any skin in the game. This kid is on the JV team, but he is here tonight to help out, and we certainly do appreciate the parents of all the players helping us out with the camera. All right, we got a little bit of time. The guys are all out there taking up their warm-ups, and they've got about 3 minutes left. I wanted to come on a little early because I've been having trouble getting knocked off the air, not just here, but everywhere I've gone, even when I'm actually plugged into the internet at Collinsville High School. I get knocked off the air once, maybe twice, but then after that it kind of settles itself down. So hopefully now that we've been on this long, we'll be all right for the rest of this game. So I still am awaiting the starters for, well, I got Collinsville's, I just don't have Triads. So we'll just run down some stats real quick. As I told you during the little pregame pink sheet that I read at the beginning of every game. Owen Stinnett is the team leader in goals for Collinsville. He scored last night, and that was his 25th. Nolan Duffy also scored last night, and that was his 14th. That is the only two players that we have for Collinsville that is in double digits in goals, and Collinsville now has 61 goals scored as a team on the year. For Triad, their leader in goals is the aforementioned Aston Blevins. He scored goals number 17 and 18 in last night's game, and Jacob Hirschbacher is the only other Triad Knight into double digits in the goals category, and he scored last night as well to give him 16 goals on the year. I do know that Ezra Fryman is in goal tonight, so we'll give you his stats. Last night was his 20th game, 787 minutes. He is 4-14-1 on the year. 530 saves. He's given up 95 goals, shots against him is 530, and he's given up 95 goals, which means he made 429 saves. He has a goals against average of 5.07 and a save percentage right at 81%, or for you math people, .810. Max Kadich, I'm assuming that he will be in goal tonight because he has been in every game except for one this year. Tyler Compton had one game earlier in the year, played all 42 minutes and lost that game. So Max Kadich probably in net tonight. He has played 23 games on the year, 1,007 minutes, and he has a record of 10 wins, 13 losses, and 1 tie. One of those wins being a shutout. He has faced 806 shots on the year, and he's given up 92 goals. He's made 714 saves, and his goals against average is 3.84, while his save percentage is at .886. How about a little history? I can only go back to 2015 for the history between Collinsville and Triad in the world of hockey. And Collinsville is 13-5-0, and this, by the way, is the first series that these two teams have faced off against each other since 2015 in the world of the playoffs. So Collinsville has they only played Triad once last season. Cahoks won that game 7-2 at the McKendree Recplex the day before Christmas Eve. The graduated Tanner Bettis had 2 goals in that game, and Eric Denny with 1, plus Lincoln Duffy also had 1. Players still on this year's team that scored: Ethan Lewis, Trevor Parker, and Owen Stinnett also scored in that game. Last time Collinsville lost, besides last night, to Triad in the regular season was on December 5th, of 2022. An 8-2 loss at Granite City. Later in that 22-23 season, Collinsville got revenge with a 7-5 win right here at the RP Lumber Center. So Collinsville is now 13-5 against Triad. And Craig Duffy, in his 4 years, he is 4-2 versus the Triad Knights. All right, the buzzer has sounded. The warm-ups are over, so we have one more break coming your way while they announce the starters for both of these teams. Collinsville is the home team tonight, so they'll begin with Triad. And then when all that's said and done, they'll play the national anthem. And as soon as all that is wrapped up, we will be back here to bring you some Kahok playoff hockey. And we'll do that right on the other side of this commercial break on the Kahok Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all the accessories. Rich has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131
West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com. Save On Liquor and Wine in Collinsville is much more than what's in their name. Of course, Save On Liquor and Wine has liquor and wine, from brand names to specialty brands. Plus, they have gas, cigars, fountain drinks, coffee, craft beers, and other sundries and snacks. Plus, everything Save On Liquor and Wine has to offer comes served by a friendly, attentive, helpful, and polite staff that will go out of their way to serve you that special something for every taste. Make sure you check out Save On Liquor and Wine's new location at 6100 Center Grove Road in Edwardsville. Save On Liquor and Wine in Collinsville, 809 St. Louis Road, or call 618-344-1638. Save On Liquor and Wine, something for every taste.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com, or call Pack Mail at 346-4884. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Once again, we welcome you back here to the RP Lumber Center in Edwardsville. Todd Duke is my name. Jeremy Hudson on the camera for us tonight. Here are your starters. We'll begin with Triad. Your wingers on the left side, Jacob Perschbacher. On the right side, Nolan Moore. The centerman is Aston Blevins, and the defenseman Jackson McFarland and Luke Ulrich. And as I mentioned, in goal is Max Kadich for Collinsville. The wingers, Benjamin Klein on the right side, Nolan Duffy on the left side, and the centerman is Owen Stennett. Your defensemen, Ethan Lewis and Jace Ferry, and in goal is Ezra Fryman. As I mentioned, Collinsville is the home team, so they're out there in the white uniforms with the black breeches on. They have purple numbers trimmed in a little bit of black and white on the fronts and the backs of those jerseys. The word Kahawks written across the tops over the numbers on the front. Triad, they are the visitors. They are out there in their black uniforms, numbers in red, trimmed in a little white on the backs and over the sleeves, and they have their logo on the fronts of their jerseys, and we are underway. Collinsville penetrates the offensive zone here early. Lewis does a nice job of keeping it in, but everybody had already vacated, so Collinsville will have to retreat and try to force a turnover in the Triad end of things, and Nolan Duffy almost did exactly that. But now Lewis stands him up at the blue line, sends one over to Stennett. Stennett with a shot. That one goes wide over on the far side post. A turnaround slap shot didn't work there for Luke Ulrich. And the Triad Knights still trying to get it out. They finally do poke it into the neutral zone. Collinsville knocks it in off sides, and everybody retreats once again. Collinsville making no line changes as of yet, as we're just underway. But here is Blevins as Triad enters the zone for the first time, and a shot on goal will be swallowed up by Fryman, and that is the first shot on goal in this contest, and that took 1 minute and 3 seconds for that to happen. So we're just underway here in period number one. No score as of yet between Collinsville and Triad. Collinsville facing a must-win situation to force a Game 3 winner-take-all game at Granite City on Thursday night. And if that does happen, if Collinsville can survive tonight and they make it to Thursday, I'm sorry that I will not be able to bring you that game. I already have girls basketball Southwestern Conference game at Belleville West on my schedule, so unable to do anything about that one. I was supposed to do the game at Granite City tonight, the girls basketball game, but since it's not a conference game, I went ahead and took that one off the schedule so I could bring you guys this game here tonight. But conference games kind of don't move away from those. So glad that we're here tonight. Wish the Lady Kahok basketball team, good luck in Granite City tonight. We'll be with them on Thursday night at Belleville West. And I'm hoping that I do miss a game on Thursday, and Collinsville does pull this one out here tonight and force that game 3. Here is Kitstein. He sends the puck up, just missed the stick there of Benjamin Klein, but Klein will go back into the corner to get it, and then he gets bumped off the puck. That allows Triad to send it back through the neutral zone. And the younger Kitstein, Anthony, back to chase it down. He'll backhand one back behind the net to Ethan Lewis. Lewis will send it up the boards, finds Nolan Duffy. Duffy from that far corner sends it up into the neutral zone. There's our pregame guest, David Hearn, his second game back since he suffered that injury against Vianney earlier this year at the East Alton Ice Rink. I was there for that game and thought that he just lost a skate blade. I didn't know that he damaged his ankle in the process, but he's back and he's happy that he's back. That puck rolls right through the RP Lumber Center logo onto Nolan Duffy. Duffy will find Stennett. Stennett with a backhand, a save over there by Kadich. Into the corner it goes. Picked up over there by Eric Mushigan for Triad. Into the high slot area. Collinsville trying to disrupt it. They do. Here is Nolan Duffy. Duffy comes in, takes a shot, and a save by Kadich, and he'll cover it up. And that'll draw a whistle and stop the clock with 11:09 left to play here in this opening period. Collinsville and Triad, first ever time that I'm aware of. The records on the Mississippi Valley Club Hockey Association site only goes back to the 2015-2016 season. And between then and now, Collinsville and Triad had never met in the playoffs before. Duffy sends one in from a weird angle, and Kadich doesn't even know where it is, but apparently that slid up underneath his pads there, and he clamped onto it or closed up the hole anyway and didn't know it was there until the whistle blew, and he went to look for it. So face-off will come out to his right. Collinsville wins it. Little backhander will sweep it all the way back around the Triad net. Collinsville picks it up there. Here is Owen Stennett. Stennett trying to turn around and get a shot, but that is stolen off of his stick on a nice play by Blevins. Blevins with a head of steam comes in, but his teammate, Jacob Hirschbacher, was in just a couple of steps ahead, and they call that one an offside. And we're also going to have a penalty, and that looks like Caleb Matheny will go into the penalty box here for Triad. So Collinsville is going to get an early power play opportunity here. 2 minutes on the clock. Kahawks on a 5-on-4 man advantage. Faceoff will come out to the left of Kadich. Won by Triad. They sweep it into the corner. Here is Luke Ulrich. Ulrich will send it up into the netting, and we'll do it all over again. Well, they already got the puck back in there, dude. That's okay. I was going to say put it in your pocket. There you go. 3 referees here tonight. 2 of them wearing the orange bands. Actually, 4 of them, sorry. 2 wearing the orange bands and 2 linemen. There's a host of games going on everywhere else. This is the only game going on here tonight at the RP Lumber Center. And Collinsville, if they win this one here tonight, will have to go to Granite City on Thursday. It's supposed to be a little warmer, so I wish them luck. Ooh, right in front of the crease, but it was stopped by Triad. Triad will hoist the puck down the ice, kill off some of that power play time. Minute 25 left to go in the man advantage here for Collinsville. Here is Jace Ferry. Ferry bringing it up ice. Skates between a couple of Triad players, but couldn't get past the last one. Perschbacher, he ends up stealing the puck from Ferry. Now Ferry trying to win it back, and there's a shot and a save by Fryman. And that'll stop the clock with 9:56 left to play here in this opening period. 1:11 left to go in the penalty. Excuse me. To Caleb Matheny. So the face-off will come out to the right of Fryman. And it'll be Duffy in the circle. And he got the puck first, but Triad ended up with it in the face-off circle afterwards, but Duffy will retreat it from this near side corner. He'll sweep it out in front, and then he'll go for a ride. Leaves it for Stennett. Stennett sends it up to Klein. Klein comes in, right side, takes a shot, no good. Saved out there by one of the defensemen, and then a turnaround shot by Stennett. I believe that went off the shins of Ulrich. And now the puck trapped a little bit off to the right-hand side of the goal. Here is Kitstein. Anthony sends it up. Shot on goal by Jace Ferry. I'm not sure if it made it or not. Back to the blue line. Stinnett with a shot right into the glove of Max Kadich. Collinsville putting on a little bit of a flurry here with this power play. Kahok's out shooting Triad right now 4-3. 9:16 left to play here in this opening period. 30 seconds left on the man advantage here for Collinsville. And this time the faceoff will come out to the right of Kadich. In the faceoff circle, Collinsville wins the faceoff. Back to the blue line, it goes to Ferry. Ferry over onto the other side now, and he finds Landon Mosby. Back over to Ferry at the blue line. Ferry skates around one defender, puts one up front, hoping Jace Ferry was going to be able to get a stick on it, but just left it a little bit too far out of his reach. And with just 10 seconds left to go on the man advantage, Collinsville will enter the zone once again. Trying to chase it down is Mosby. Mosby gets pinched up against the boards, has the puck out front, and a shot that never quite made it there. Ends up being a little bit off to the side, and the power play is now over for Collinsville. Kahok still have some pressure, and they between the backhand shot there by Stinnett, and it was a little wide, but that was a good idea. Stinnett now trying to get the puck. He does. Throws it into the corner for Klein. Klein, he gets wrestled away. In front, loose puck. Shot. That one's saved by one of the defensemen. Never did quite make it to Kadich. Collinsville sends it back over to Mosby. Mosby will send it back up into the corner past Ferry. And now Ben Klein with it. Back behind the Triad net. Throws one in front. That one hit the side of the net. Came right back out to him. And then a loose puck back there, back behind the net once again. Comes out. Collinsville, they have it. Here once again is Mosby. Tries to sweep a backhander into the low slot. That never made it. And Triad, they will finally break out. And then Collinsville disrupts that. Carry over here on the near sideline for Triad. Gives it up. Here comes Gillis. Gillis with a shot and a save by Fryman. Anthony Kitstein wrestles the puck away for just a moment, but Triad comes back in and steals the puck right back. Shot on goal, saved by Fryman. Stinnett back with it back behind his own net. Reverses direction, heads toward the corner, and then changes direction once again, swatting that out of midair. That was Perschbacher. He takes a shot and a save, and then a goal on the other side by Perschbacher, and Triad takes the early lead. Well, there's a lot of work there by Perschbacher. .7:24 left to play here in this first period. 1-0 in favor of Triad right after Collinsville couldn't connect on a power play. They had lots of chances, though. They ended up with, oh, no, there's another quick goal right off the get-go by Aston Blevins. And that one right there hurts. That comes 8 seconds after the first one does. And now, all of a sudden, it's a 2-0 hole that Collinsville finds themselves in. And those 2-0 holes are always hard to climb out of. Collinsville wins the faceoff, sends it into the Triad zone, off the near side board. Hearn is up there. He got a hold of it for a second and sends it up far enough for Duffy to take control of. Now Duffy into the near side corner. He gets double teamed, and one of those guys supplying the double team there ends up taking the puck, and that was their centerman, Aston Blevins. Collinsville stole it back for just a second, but Blevins comes in, takes a shot, but that goes well wide. Comes all the way around the boards and back down, so Kadich can come out of his crease and play the puck to a teammate. 6:35 left to play here in this opening period. Collinsville down 2-0 here early. Here comes Triad once again. Nolan Moore. Moore skates it in all the way into the near side corner. Back behind the Kahok neck over to the opposite corner. Throws one up front. No one there for Triad. Mosby. That was Stinnett. He swept the puck away with a one-hander over here in front of the penalty boxes, across from the penalty boxes, and then back behind the Triad net. At the McKendree Recplex, we are behind the penalty boxes here at the RP Lumber Center. They're on the other side of the ice. Here's another opportunity now for Blevins. Blevins from the face-off circle puts one off the side of the net, sweeps one up front. No one home for Triad to send that one home. Mosby gets a hold of it for Collinsville. Landon skates it up, made a guy miss who ends up flying into the boards. Collinsville fans got a kick out of that. Here is Miles Carey now for Triad. He'll send it over to the far side. And then off of the stick of Perschbacher, Collinsville's Ethan Lewis takes it from him, sweeps it back into the zone. Klein had it hit off his skate. Then he gets shoved to the ground. Here is Perschbacher once again. Nice poke check there by Owen Stennett. Gets the puck up to Klein. Back over to Stennett. Owen comes in, takes a shot, and that one is swallowed up by Max Kadich, and that'll stop the clock with 5:20 left to play here in this opening period. Been a back and forth period already, though, but unfortunately, Triad scored 2 goals 8 seconds apart, and they have the 2-0 lead. Collinsville wins another faceoff. They'll sweep it a backhand style back behind the Triad net, and then chased down over there by Stennett. Turns around, circle shot, and that one hit, I think, a skate, I believe, belonging to Eric Mushigan, and it just trickled wide of that far side post. Not saying that Kadich would have made a save on it, but I would have liked to have seen the opportunity for that. Here is Lewis. He'll backhand one through the neutral zone. Stennett comes in, high slot area, has the puck knocked off of his skit, turns around, takes a shot, throws one out front, rebound comes all the way out. Oh, what a leg save there by Ethan Lewis, and then unable to park it home was Nolan Duffy, who was standing right there. And then Triad, they'll just poke it out. Collinsville's got a lot of fight here. They're not afraid of trying to come back from 2 goals down. They've done it before. Here is Ferry, Jace. Circles around with it, up to Stennett. Stennett, long reach, pokes it in. Kadich has to get a stick on it and then sends it over to the far side boards. Off of those boards and up the ice it goes. Klein, he overskated it, and Kitstein thought he was going to get it, so kind of left it alone there for a little while. Now Klein finds it once again. Here is Ethan Lewis. Lewis pulls the trigger and slows everything down and then sends one into this near side corner. Back behind the net it goes. Here is Samuel Klein in front, and a little bit of a scrum trying to find that puck. A bunch of people tried, but no one can quite get there. And here is Anthony Kitstein. Kitstein goes back behind his net, being bothered there by Luke Ulrich. Over into the far side corner it goes. Back over to Klein. Kitstein. Kitstein sends the puck all the way around the boards, trying to make sure it comes out. Is Stennett. He tries to send one up to Klein, who is streaking right up the middle. Both the Klein boys are out there right now. Back over to Stennett. He keeps it in at the blue line, but it's picked up there by McFarland for Triad. Sends it over to a teammate. That is Ulrich. Ulrich, he'll find the stick of Rosenberg. Rosenberg takes a shot, but that's off of the side of the net over on the far side. Back over to the far side corner it goes. Owen Stennett finds it, and then it gets knocked off of his stick, and backwards it goes off of the boards. Duffy puts a hit on Davis, and Lewis tried to feed it to Stennett, who is on the neutral zone side of the blue line, but that was picked off over there by Davis, and then over on the far side post, shot taken, saved by Fryman, and then a whistle will follow. 2:50 left to play here in this opening period. 2-0 in favor of Triad. Collinsville out shooting the Knights 12-8 here in this period. Face-off comes out to the left of Fryman. Won by Collinsville. Back to Ferry it goes. He'll ring it all the way around the boards, and all the way up ice it'll go, and it'll roll. And Kadich has to come out and play it because that was rolling right toward the net. And then a high hoister back out to the neutral zone. Anthony Kitstein pokes the puck back up, gets it back, pokes it up there again. Hearn turns around, and he'll send it in, and they wave off icing. Over into the far side corner it goes. Nolan Duffy, he'll get there, and then he got taken out of the play and couldn't get the puck. That's exactly what he was going to do. But Triad, they made a nice play to make sure he couldn't. Up against the far end boards it goes. Back by the Kahawks net. Turnaround shot never made it quite on net off of the stick of Will Gillis. And now Duffy, he'll send it up off of the boards right there by the Triad bench. Made a bunch of guys flinch there. And then here is Stennett. He got help by Duffy taking out one of the guys, and it comes in front. No one there to swing it back home for Collinsville, and now a loose puck picked up by Triad. They try to race it through the neutral zone. Nothing doing. Here is Stennett. Stennett, high slot. Tries to do a little dipsy doodle, does so. Sends the puck back behind the net. Hearn couldn't get there first, so Triad does. They'll send it up the boards, and that's going to go all the way down for an icing call, and that'll stop the clock with 1:33 left to play here in this first period. 2-0 back-to-back goals by Triad, 8 seconds apart. First one came right after Collinsville had a pretty good power play going on there. I would estimate that they probably had about 6 or 7 shots on goal during that power play, but just could never find that gap to get one past Kadich. Face-off, won by Collinsville once again, and then a loose puck knocked away. Triad, they come up with it. And the Knights trying to get it out of their own end and having a hard time doing that. Here is Stennett. Stennett from the right side of the red line will send it all the way back down. Kadich will backhand it over into the far side corner, and now back over to this way it comes. Collinsville, Lewis, nice job keeping it in, takes a shot from the blue line. A save there by Kadich, and then Stennett finds the rebound, lost the puck, finds it again, puts on a move, puts a shot on goal, and never quite made it there. Blocked out once again by one of the defensemen. There is Triad trying to rustle that puck away. They can't do it. Stennett does a nice job getting it back. Right in front, tries to take a shot, but he missed. And then the puck just kind of slowly trickled to Kadich, and he gloved it down, and that stops the clock with 45.9 seconds left to play here in this opening period. I see a backup goalie and 4 players on the bench for Collinsville. They are shorthanded. 4 of their players are out sick. And in case you only follow hockey, the whole entire boys basketball team is sick for Collinsville. They were supposed to play a game at MICDS tonight, but that got canceled because the coaching staff and all of the players are catching this little bug that's going around. And from what I hear, it's not a fun bug to catch. Down to the final 25 seconds left to play here in this opening period. Triad up 2-0. Here is Davis. Davis sends it down into the corner for the Knights. Lewis bumps him off the puck. Puck comes all the way back out to the blue line, but the Knights keep it in. Here is McFarland. He'll send it all the way back down. Once again, he'll find the stick of Davis. Out front, shot. That one's partially blocked by one of the Collinsville players and ended up going very wide of that far side post. And then the period comes to a close. That was a fun, fast, and furious period, but unfortunately, Triad, with back-to-back goals 8 seconds apart, have taken a 2-0 lead. And we will take a break and come back and bring you the second period right after this timeout on the Kahok Sports Network.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Once again, back here at the RP Lumber Center in Edwardsville, 2-0 after one period in the books. I am Todd Duke, Jeremy Hudson over here on the camera for us. We appreciate him helping us out. Collinsville outshot Triad in that first period 13-10, but unfortunately Triad got back-to-back goals. First one by Jacob Perschbacher, and then 8 seconds later it was Aston Blevins who scored, and Collinsville has been chasing this game ever since. As I mentioned, Cavs are playing short-handed. No Dylan Shoemaker tonight. No Carter Simmons. No Trevor Parker. No Evan Sutton. Sutton has 7 goals. Parker has 3. And the other 2 guys play a good amount of defense. And you miss all the guys when they're not there. We switch into the ice, so now Kadich in goal to your left and Fryman in goal to your right. Collinsville, they're heading in the right direction. Here is Duffy. Duffy comes out. Face-off circle, takes a shot. Saved by Kadich. A turnaround shot by Duffy. And that one just goes a little bit wide. Out to the blue line. I believe that was Anthony Kitstein with that puck. And now here is Klein. Klein couldn't control it. And a loose puck is going to be picked up once again by Blevins. Blevins comes in, takes a shot, and scores. (13:23). That's how much time is left in this period. And Blevins scores his second of the night. And that makes it 3-0 in favor of Triad. So Blevins now up to 20 goals on the year. And that was unfortunate. That puck just took a weird bounce and went through everybody, and Blevins was the first one to get there. Came in on a breakaway and made Collinsville pay for it. Here is Blevins. Blevins takes it in. Collinsville steals it. And then Stennett sends it back into the neutral zone, and Duffy almost found it and sent it all the way down in, but just couldn't finish. Collinsville will get it back once again. Here is Owen Stennett. Stennett comes in and takes a shot, and a save by Kadich on a little backhand try in the crease there by Stennett. And then another shot that goes wide. Comes out over here onto the near side boards. Lewis trying to send it into the corner to Nolan Duffy, but it never made it that far. Triad, they enter the zone once again. All the way into the far side corner it goes. Anthony Kitstein trying to chase it down. He can't get there. Back over here for Blevins. Blevins, he leaves the puck and tries to give it to Perschbacher, but Perschbacher kind of overskated it there. And now Duffy, he'll send the puck up the boards, and then he'll try to go chase it down, which he does. He comes in with a head of steam over here on the left side, trying to skate around one of the defensemen. Goes back around behind the net with the puck, and it ends up over on the far side corner. Triad, they break it out from there, but they missed the pass. And now Kitstein, he's going to try to track it down before Perschbacher could get there. They both got there at the same time, and now the puck is trapped up against the boards until it's dug out of there by Blevins once again. And then onto the stick of Moore for Triad, and then in front, Blevins had a point-blank shot, and that one just popped up into the air and went over into the far side corner. Lewis sends it back over here to the near side. Another turnaround shot, no good, as Fryman made the save. Stennett was there to clean up the rebound. 11:35 left to go here in this second period. Here is Stennett once again. He left the puck a little bit too far ahead of himself, but Triad will shoot it in, and it'll be taken there by Lewis. And to the far side corner it goes. Picked up over there by Jackson McFarland. McFarland sends it off the boards, and Collinsville will find it. Here is Lewis. Lewis trying to backhand it over to Klein. Couldn't do so. Brought in by Rosenberg. Rosenberg for Triad over in the face-off circle area, and sends the puck out front to McFarland. McFarland, he'll skate around with it. And he'll continue to skate around with it. Klein, Benjamin, trying to follow it every step of the way, and Klein finally does and sends the puck all the way back down, and Kadich will come out and play it about midway between his goal crease and the blue line, and that one, I believe they're going to say is offside. No? No. Well, the faceoff's going to come into the zone, so I'm not really sure what the call was there. Clock stops, 10:45 left to go. Collinsville still out shooting Triad 15-11. And besides the 3 goals that are up on the scoreboard, I think Collinsville is kind of outplaying Triad, but right now, Triad's going to go on a power play as Ethan Lewis just got escorted to the penalty box. So this will be the first power play for Triad, and Collinsville really needs to kill this one off if they want to have a chance to come back and post a win here. And a backhand shot taken there by Rosenberg didn't make it. Cross-checking is the call against Lewis, so he's in the box for a couple of minutes. That one bounces off of the stick of Fryman as it kind of got tipped a couple of times on its way there. Here is Ulrich all the way back at the blue line, sends it over to the opposite side. Blocked out front by Collinsville, and Nolan Duffy will find it and send it on down to relieve some of that power play pressure. Minute 20 left to go in the man advantage here for Triad. Here's Duffy, gets it to Stennett. Stennett comes in, shorthanded, tried, it's good! Oh, and Stennett with a shorthanded tally. And Collinsville gets one of those back. How about that? That we did. We sure needed that one. Short-handed goals, gotta love them when they're on your side. Gotta hate them when they're not. So Collinsville, they still have over a minute here, 1:04 to kill on this Triad power play. Klein sends it into the corner. Picked up there for a brief moment by Moore, but he forgot to take the puck with him. So Collinsville, they get down there and they'll send it back into the neutral zone. Picked up there by Landon McDowell for Triad. McDowell skates it across the red line into the Collinsville zone. Sends it back to McFarland over at the blue line. McFarland off of the far side boards where he finds the stick of Blevins. Blevins, he'll leave it for Perschbacher. Back over to Blevins. Blevins with a shot partially blocked by Duffy. Ferry will get it, and he'll send it all the way down the ice, and that'll relieve some more of that time. 20 seconds left to go in the Triad power play. Up to Blevins it goes. Blevins enters the zone, onside. Skates it over to the far side faceoff circle. Into the corner he goes. A backhand shot. Going to head toward the blue line, and no one was there as McFarland kind of skated from his bench toward the middle of the rink, so he didn't have a chance to grab that one. Now back up once again for Blevins. Blevins takes a shot. That one's going to go into the netting, and that'll stop the clock with 8:37 left. But the power play is over. Triad failed to capitalize on their first power play. Matter of fact, they gave up a goal on that power play. Man, Triad's bench is just packed. They've got about 20 guys over there, and you look over at Collinsville's, they've got 4. Add their backup goalie, Miles Hayden, in there, and they've got 5. They're going to send Miles Hayden on there and start playing forward. Face-off, kind of scrambled around there for a moment. Then a shot on goal and a save by Fryman. Triad, they stay with the puck. Turnaround shot, another save by Fryman. Hit him in the mask. And then a swing and a miss by the Triad player. Allows Collinsville to get the puck. Here is Ethan Lewis, fresh out of the penalty box. And then Kadich back behind his own net will send it up to a teammate right at the end of the Kahok bench, off of the near side boards. And off of the stick there of Tyler Davis. Collinsville interrupts that flow for a moment. Here is Klein, backhanded it, but couldn't do anything afterwards. And then a shot from the very high slot out by the blue line. Never quite made it into Fryman. And then a loose puck over in the corner. Ethan Lewis trying to track it down. He can't. And Triad, they come away with it again. Poked away for a moment, but Triad, they stay with it. And a shot toward the goal. Never did quite make it until it ricochets off of a body. And then Collinsville will get it, and they'll send it back down the ice, and that one's going to lose steam before it has a chance to be an icing call. That puck was rolling around, spinning on its edges, and when it did, it never could travel any farther. Here is Owen Stinnett. Stinnett with a shot as Kadich come out to play off the angle, and then the puck gets sent back into the neutral zone off of the far side boards. We're down to 7:10 left to play here in this middle period. Collinsville trailing 3-1. Still out shooting the Knights 16-13. And that's going to be an icing call, and that'll bring the faceoff all the way back down in front of Kadich. Coach Craig Duffy talking things over there with Owen Stinnett while he has an opportunity to. Faceoff will come out to the right of Kadich. Won by Collinsville. Duffy sends it over to Klein. Went just past his stick, though. And then it ends up going over the glass at the end of the Kahawks bench and back into Never Never Land over there. So another faceoff will come down in front of Max Kadich. This time it'll be to his left. Face-off won by Triad this go-round, and that will send it back into the neutral zone. Collinsville, they got there, but then they turned the puck over, And here is Perschbacher, and a shot and a save there by Fryman. Collinsville, they find the puck over to David Hearn. Hearn backhands one to the other blue line, and Triad, they'll take over from there. Here is Aston Bevins. Bevins already has 2 goals here tonight of the 3 for Triad, and he'll slowly skate it around back behind the Kahok net. Comes out here over on the near side corner. Back at the blue line, it goes to McDowell. McDowell takes a shot, saved out of there by Collinsville's defense, and then a nice job by McDowell to keep it in the zone as he was falling backwards when he did that. Now Blevins sends the puck back out, and Triad with another shot, no good. Comes all the way out to the high slot area, picked up by Collinsville. Here is Nolan Duffy. Duffy lost the puck for a minute, had to slow things down, then he whiffed on a chance to put it back into the Triad zone. Blevins comes away with it, and then a couple of players collide. Stinnett, he was already on the ground. One of the Triad players ran into him, and that player appears to be hurt. That is Nolan Moore, and Moore is still down on the ice, and we're going to have a visit from one of the Triad trainers to come out and check on their guy there. Collinsville will go back into the neutral zone and take a knee. We will go ahead and take a quick break, and we're back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics.
Back here at the RP Lumber Center, Nolan Moore goes off the ice under his own power. A little bit of help from the trainer, but he appeared to be okay. Whether he stays in the game or not, that remains to be seen. He just kind of tripped right over Owen Stinnett, who was already laying on the ground after he took a hit. So no malicious intent or anything going on there. We still remain 5-on-5. 5:30 left to play here in this second period. Here is Stinnett. Stinnett trying to weave his way through traffic, does so. Comes all the way out to Kadich, though, and he comes about a quarter of the way out from behind his net. There's a turnover. Duffy looking for an avenue to take a shot. Can't do it. And a shot chance taken there by Samuel Klein, but never did quite make it to goal. And he gets another whack at it and still knocked off of somebody's skates. Another turnover at the blue line. Ethan Lewis has to hold while the rest of his teammates get back on side. He'll send a backhander in, and then Collinsville once again will try to get the puck and get the turnover, which they do. Here is Duffy. Nolan sends one through the high crease right at the top of both of those circles. But no one home, and Triad will break it out. They have a little 2-on-1 going on here. They send it on over, and Tyler Davis couldn't settle it down enough for a shot. It jumped over his stick. And then back behind the Collinsville net. They'll send one back out front once again. And there is McFarland keeping it in for Triad, but Stinnett will go back and collect it here for Collinsville. Weaves his way through the neutral zone. Comes into the Triad end and puts a shot on goal. No good. And the cleanup effort there by Mosby, but that one stopped by Kadich as well. And that'll stop the clock with 4:20 left to play here in period number 2. Collinsville trailing 3-1. Face off again will come out to the left of Kadich. And we'll see if Collinsville can do anything with it here. Puck still on the face-off dot after all that. But Triad, they're the ones who come away with it. Here is Miles Carey. Carey skates it in, puts on the brakes, sends one up into the middle now to Blevins. Blevins turnaround shot and a save there by Fryman. Fryman got the blocker on that one, pinched up against the board. Hearns lays the body into Perschbacher, and then the puck goes back behind the Collinsville net. Over into the corner it goes. Perschbacher, he's in a little tussle over there now with Stinnett. That puck is pinched up against the boards. Referees will make them play it. Finally gets poked away. Triad, they're the ones who come away with it. Back to McFarland at the blue line. That puck is knocked down by a high stick, but the guy who knocked it down is the one who gets it, so no whistle. And then it comes to Blevins in front, had a guy wide open. Miles Carey was in the slot all by himself and couldn't pull the trigger. Back over into the far side corner it goes. Collinsville, they'll get a hold of it. Hearn tries a sweeping pass up to Mosby. Never made it to him because Blevins was there to steal it away. Collinsville finds the puck once again. Here is Nolan Duffy, just hopped off the bench. And now the Kahawks trying to rustle the puck away in the Triad end to see if they can get a shot on goal here. We're under 3 minutes to go in the second period. Collinsville trailing 3-1. There's a swing and a miss by Klein at the blue line. He finds it though and sends it in anyway. And then Triad slowly comes out of their own end. Here is Blevins. Blevins with a shot that goes wide far side post. Rebound picked up by Klein, but then it comes out and Triad gets a hold of it. Collinsville will send it down the ice and it's going to be right on goal, so they avoid the icing call there. Now a loose puck picked up by Stennett. Stennett comes in, tries a little step move there and then gets knocked off of the puck. And then we'll have to go back and retreat it. Couldn't do it though. As Ulrich comes away with it for Triad. He'll send it past Klein and then play a little chase. Here is Klein. Benjamin Klein back there behind the net. Got a couple of Triad Knights back there with him as well. I think 3 of them, so somebody had to be open somewhere. Nolan Duffy finds a loose puck. He'll send it all the way down the ice, and that will be an icing call, and that will stop the clock with 1:49 left to play here in period number 2. Kahawks still out shooting Triad, 18-15, 1:49 to play. Second period action. There is no other game here tonight, so I don't think there is a time restriction on this game. I don't think they'll take time off. There's nobody waiting in the wings to take the ice next. Triad wins the faceoff. Back to the blue line it goes. Here is McFarland. He'll send it back over. And the Knights go back to work. Back over on the far side. Shot taken, never made it there. And Collinsville will send the puck out, this time with not enough strength to garner the icing call. And then a couple of players run into each other, and then Triad will send the puck all the way back down into the Collinsville zone. But Jace Ferry is there first, has it behind his net, sends it all the way around the boards, jumps over the stick of Stennett. And they wave off icing because Stennett did touch the puck. And then here is McDowell. McDowell for Triad, races in front of the Kahawk bench. Races in front of the penalty box, then races in front of his own bench. And gets punched up against the boards there by Jace Ferry. Collinsville, they come away with it. Stennett putting on a couple of moves once again, and the puck ends up loose right in front. And that's knocked in there by Laken Rosenberg. And Triad goes back out to their original 3-goal lead. Comes with just 54.5 seconds left to play here in the second, and that makes it 4-1 in favor of Triad. Boy, the Kahawks got some work cut out for him. Here is Nolan Duffy. Duffy tries to put a shot on goal. That is blocked out by McFarland. Laken Rosenberg picks up his 4th goal of the year. Out to Ferry at the blue line, but he gets pushed off the puck. Triad, they come away with it. And skating in with it is Kerry Miles. Miles then got plastered up against the boards, lost his stick in the process. Comes all the way into the crease and covered up there by Fryman. That'll stop the clock with 22.1 seconds to play here in period number 2. Face-off will come out to the right of Ezra Fryman. Fryman, one of those players that was picked up in the draft that they have in the Mississippi Valley Club Hockey Association every year before the season starts. So he's actually from Bridgeton, not Collinsville. And back to the blue line it goes. Shot, and that was off some skates. Collinsville keeps it. Here is Owen Stennett. Stinnett comes up with David Hearn, but he gets punched off the puck there by McFarland. And then Stinnett takes him down, and that is going to earn Stinnett a trip to the penalty box just as soon as Collinsville touches the puck here, which they do right at the end of the period. And now a couple of other players will go banging around a little bit, but I don't think that was anything intentional. They just kind of ran into each other right at the penalty box area. But that's going to do it for period number 2. Third period will come your way here in just a moment, and the Canucks will start it off shorthanded. We'll tell you all about period number 3 right after this timeout on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
Once again, we welcome you back here to the RP Lumber Center in Edwardsville. A fresh 14 minutes put up on the clock, but there's also a 2 minutes put up on the clock as Owen Stinnett is in the penalty box for Collinsville. A little roughing going on there, and so Collinsville is going to be shorthanded for the second time tonight. They did score a shorthanded goal, but the guy who scored it is in the penalty box. So Triad 0 for 1 with the man advantage. Collinsville hoping to keep it at 0 for 2 and then have a chance to come back in the game's final 12 minutes. But right now, their main goal is to keep Triad off the board. Here's Klein. Sends it back to the blue line. McFarland kept that one in. Shot from a wide angle, and that one misses the mark. Collinsville finds it, and they'll send it all the way down the ice. Kadich comes out. Taps the puck up to Ulrich. Ulrich sends the puck up. Collinsville gets it again, and Duffy will send it all the way back down. Klein trying to chase down the puck carrier, which he does, and then has the puck swept away, and then we'll put it back down into this near side corner. Kadich comes out once again. He'll leave it there for Ulrich. Ulrich, he'll bring it up and find the stick of Perschbacher. Perschbacher, he skates in with a head of steam, puts on a shot, and Fryman made the save. He doesn't know where it is, but it ends up right in between his pads. And that'll stop the clock with 12:53 left to play here in period number 3. 54 seconds left in the penalty to Owen Stinnett. Faceoff comes out to the right of Fryman. Klein versus Blevins, and a whistle will stop the action there. Linesman over on the far side, who is stationed in front of the Kahawks bench, is the one who blew that whistle. He's the only referee out there that has a name on his back. That puck sent all the way down. Kadich will get it. And then it's left at the blue line, but they'll come away with it anyway. And here is McFarland. McFarland, high slot, far side faceoff circle. Sends that one just a little bit wide of the near side post. Gets it back and shoots and scores. McFarland will pick up his third goal. That's a power play goal. And Triad feeling like they want to advance to the next round. So the Triad Knights finally do get a power play goal. And that makes it 5-1 in favor of the Knights. So Stinnett out of the box. There was still about 30 seconds left to go on that penalty to Owen when that goal was scored. So Collinsville with their backs squarely up against the walls now. They need 4 goals in a little bit more than 12 minutes to just tie this thing. We did have one shootout last night in the opening round of the playoffs between Freeburg Waterloo and I can't remember who they were playing. Clock stopped with 12:01 left to play here in period number 3. We have the day off tomorrow, and if things here don't change, we have Lady Kahok basketball scheduled for you from Belleville West on Thursday. And we're hoping that the boys team feels better. Everybody's sick. They had to cancel tonight's game across the river, and they're due to be at home Friday night against O'Fallon. So we're hoping that they all get healthy quickly and we can get that game in. Here is Stinnett. Stinnett banks it off the boards. Back behind the Knights net it goes, and Kadich will send it all the way around, but not out, as Ethan Lewis kept it in, but that's going to be a offside call there, as Stinnett never did make it back across the blue line before Lewis poked it in once again. Lewis had it there at the blue line and then tried to keep it in, but it went right off the skates of Lake and Rosenberg and then came over the line. Lewis found the handle again, sent it in, but Stinnett wasn't quite back into the neutral zone yet. Collinsville wins that faceoff. Anthony Kitzstein sends the puck up. Kadich will slow it down right outside of the far side post. Here is McFarland. McFarland has a goal tonight. Rosenberg, Perschbacher, and Blevins has 2 for Triad. And here is Rosenberg. Rosenberg comes in, takes a shot, and a save there by Fryman. That'll stop the clock with 11:07 left to play here in this third period. Are we going to have another penalty handed out to Lewis? That we are. So Triad's going to go on their third power play. That is not a recipe for success. So another 2-minute man advantage here for the Triad Knights. Last thing Collinsville needed to do. Trailing by 4 goals. That puck caught in the referee's skates there. And back to the blue line it'll go, and then it jumps over the stick of Ariana Moore. Moore brings it over to this side to McFarland. McFarland sends it back up. Davis now finds it. Davis with a shot, and that one is swallowed up by Fryman as well. Fryman, as I mentioned, from Bridgeton. He is a senior this year, so that means next year, I would imagine for the next 2 years, you are going to see a lot of Miles Hayden in goal for the varsity team. Duffy versus Blevins here on this faceoff. Won by Triad, but Anthony Kitzstein says not so fast. I can get that one back for you guys if you want me to, and he did, but Allen sent all the way down the ice. Now Kitzstein away from the play. Gets into a little pushing and shoving match with Gilliman. And now that one is picked up by Perschbacher. Perschbacher takes a shot, glove down by Fryman. And things are getting a little testy out there. The Kahok student body cheering section pounding on the glass, and they're not supposed to do that here. And now we're going to have another penalty handed out. This one's going to go to Kitzstein. So why aren't they doing one for Gilliman too? Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I hear you. So Triad is going to have a 5-on-3 advantage here for the next minute and 10 seconds. Things just got worse here for Collinsville. Triad. Shot. Saved by Fryman. He'll cover it up. Stop the clock with 10:06 left to play. 59 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Well, I saw Kitzstein and Gilliman pushing and shoving on each other. I don't think that was what it was called, though, because you would figure if it was, they would have given one to Gilliman as well. Something happened away from the play that I wasn't watching is going to be my take on it. Collinsville being outshot now, 23-18. There's a shot. That one's off the post. And then Triad back to work. Here is Blevins. Blevins with a shot, and that one swallowed up by Fryman as well. This is Graham Blevins, who's out on the ice. And we'll have a face-off over here on this near side face-off circle. Oh, there's a shot in the goal. Uh-oh. Triad wants to come over to the glass and start talking some smack to the student body cheering section. Perschbacher will pick up another goal. And unfortunately, that makes it 6-1. That was on the 5-on-3. And there's still 1:35 left in the Kitzstein penalty, so still more power play time here for Triad. Collinsville wins that faceoff, and here is Jace Ferry, who will send the puck all the way down the ice. 6-1 now in favor of Triad, so how about a Tuesday night miracle here for the Kahawks, but they're going to have to stay out of the penalty box and start putting some shots on goal if they want to pull off that miraculous kind of a feat. That puck will go all the way down, and some of that power play time will get peeled off. 1 minute to go in the man advantage here for Triad. And that'll end up going back behind the Triad net, or the Collinsville net, excuse me. Sorry, I just realized I didn't write down that goal. Here is Ulrich. Ulrich will bank it off the boards in front of his own bench, comes all the way back into the zone. Collinsville comes away with it, and here is Jace Ferry doing a little pirouette, and then he'll send it all the way down and relieve some more of that power play pressure. There's only 10 seconds left to go in the Kitzstein penalty. And a nice stop there by Stennett, but he couldn't quite hold on to it. Triad brings it up the ice. Kitzstein penalty is over, so we're back to even strength. And over into the corner it goes. Collinsville found it for a second, and a shot. That goes wide. I think that was partially tipped in front of the net there by Jace Ferry. And then Triad will come up with it, and they'll send it back behind to Gillis. Gillis, he lost control of the puck. Here is Ferry. Ferry sends it back up into the neutral zone, and then almost got tripped up from behind. And I don't think Gillis liked that too much. He didn't get tripped. He just kind of fell. Into the circle it goes to Lewis. Lewis sends it over to Stennett. Excuse me. Stennett. Like he's skating around some orange cones out there, kind of weaving in and out of traffic. And the referees will skate in quickly as they can kind of sense the tension building up here in this one. Actually, Triad has got a guy going to the penalty box, and that is going to be Will Gillis. So Collinsville will go on their second power play of the night. They did not score on the first one. The only goal tonight scored by Collinsville has been a shorthanded goal. Ferry trying to disrupt things as Perschbacher brings it up, a shot, and a glove save there by Fryman on a shorthanded attempt by Triad. So Perschbacher and Blevins, the two leading scorers for Triad, have each scored twice here tonight. Perschbacher on the power play when the Canucks were down 5 players to 3. Another power play goal came earlier in this period. That was scored by McFarland. That was just on a regular good old-fashioned 5-on-4 power play, which is what Collinsville has right now. Here is Owen Stennett. Stennett left the puck, and Lewis tracks it down. Poked back in by Duffy. Duffy will try to chase it down, but he's got some company in Ariana Moore. And then it comes up off of the glass onto the stick of Stennett. Stennett floats around between a couple of players, puts on a couple of nice moves, comes a backhand, and he's tripped up in the crease. Collinsville is going to have a 5-on-3 advantage here as soon as the whistle blows, and they will. And the Kahawks will end up with a 1 minute and 3 second 5-on-3 power play. They're going to send McFarland into the penalty box on a slashing call. Looked like to me Stennett got tripped up right in the crease and went flying like Bobby Orr. Face off here on the near side, won by Collinsville. Duffy trying to chase it down in the corner. He can't. Triad gets a hold of it, but the loose puck will float all the way out to Stennett. Stennett, he'll find Duffy. Nolan Duffy sends one up front. Back out at front it comes. Over to the far side. Shot taken over there by Jace Ferry twice. And the second one kind of went right past Kadich. As Collinsville is enjoying a 5-on-3 power play here. They need to get the puck up and get a little something going on. Here is Stennett. Stennett races in. High slot. Leaves the puck back for Klein. Klein can't find it fast enough to get a shot on goal. Triad, they got there first, and they send the puck over into the near side corner. Nice job keeping it in by Ferry, but he can't send it any farther than it already is. And then that's knocked down by a high stick, but it belonged to Ferry, and Ferry was the next one to touch it. Triad, they'll get it all the way down the ice, and that'll pretty much do it for the 5-on-3 power play. So Collinsville couldn't score up by 2 men on the ice, but they still have 55 seconds left to go here on a regular 5-on-4 power play. And here is Stennett. Leaves the puck back for Klein, but Klein never could get a hold of the puck. Here's an opportunity for Tyler Davis. Davis leaves it up front. Shot taken there in the high slot once again by Rosenberg. Kahok send the puck up. Kadich way out of his goal. Duffy backhands it all the way back down into the corner. 20 seconds left to go on the man advantage here. In front it goes. A shot and a goal by Nolan Duffy. Kahawks get one of those back. And that is on the power play. Excuse me. But it comes with 5:45 left here in the third. 6-2 now in favor of Triad. So Duffy picks up his 15th goal of the year on the power play. That's Collinsville. That's only their second power play goal all year. Allen comes out front, dangerously stayed out front for a while. Hearn couldn't continue up front with it. Turnaround shot. That was taken there by Miles Carey. He gets it again, takes another shot. Save, another save by Fryman. Oh boy. Dangerous up front there. The Knights are. Collinsville, they finally break it out. Here is Hearn, has it poked off of his stick by Carey. How many places can that guy be at once? Oh, there's a swing and a miss. Triad catches a break, takes a shot, blocked out by Ferry, and then they throw one back out front, and there is Stennett. to pick it up. Stinnett gets it over to Duffy. Duffy fires one in between the legs of Blevins, and then Duffy will go chase it down, leaves it back over for Mosby, but Mosby got taken out on the play, but here is Ethan Lewis. Blue line shot, saved by Kadich. Rebound comes out on the stick of McDowell. That one just makes it back over into the neutral zone. Ooh, excuse me. Having a rough time here, man. Got a little throat thing going on. Started coughing. Not that kind of coughing. It was kind of one of those choking on your own spit kind of things. That's why I had to set the headset down for a minute and take a drink. 3:08 left to go here in this third period. 6-2 in favor of Triad. And now Collinsville would like to call timeout, so we'll take a quick timeout with them as well so I can catch my breath. We'll be back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224.
Back here once again at the RP Lumber Center in Edwardsville. My name is Todd Duke. Jeremy Hudson on the camera for us tonight. 3:08 left to go in the Kahawk season, unless they can find a way to score 4 goals in that 3-minute and 8-second span. Face off, won by Collinsville. Comes out to Stinnett. He takes a shot, and that goes wide over on the near side post. David Hearn, our pregame guest, trying to track it down over there. Pinches his guy up against the board, but the puck was well out in front of his face, and then that one goes in and hits the backup Triad goalie in the helmet. Luckily he had that thing on, as that one hit him right in the mask. He's over there throwing his hands up like, see, I'm not even in the game, and I still made a save. Face-off will come out over to the far side circle to the right of Kadich. Pretty sure that would be Tyler Compton over there. And that one comes back into the neutral zone. Here is Anthony Kitstein. Kitstein tries to send it back into the neutral zone, but that was blocked out just a little bit there off the end of the stick by Reed Miller. And then shot taken, and then Kitstein takes the guy out over into the corner. Tell you what, man, I like Kitstein. He's the smallest guy on the rink, and he is not afraid to back down from anyone. McFarland finds the puck. Sends it up onto the stick of Blevins. Blevins with a shot and a save by Fryman. Blevins come back in to clean up his own mess there and put another shot on goal. And another save there by Fryman. We're down to 2:10 left to play here in this third period. Here is Stinnett. Stinnett trying to race around, put a shot on goal. That's off the side of the net. And then it kind of flutters around back behind the net. Klein tried to race to keep it in, but couldn't do so. Jace Ferry, now we're going to have a penalty. And Stinnett is going to get called for a cross-check. He cross-checked right into the square of the back of Jackson McFarland, and Stinnett's night is done. He'll be in the penalty box for 2 minutes. There's only 1:54 left. Of course, if Triad scores, he can come back out, but for the most part, that might be the way that Owen Stinnett's high school career comes to an end. 5th power play of the night here for Triad. They have scored 2 times, one on a 5-on-3. Face-off will be won by Triad, but it bounces over the stick of Klein. He finds it, sends it up the boards, back to the blue line, but Blevins, he will find it. That is Graham Blevins. And then over onto the far side, picked up there, and a shot by Ulrich, and a save by Fryman. Things gotten a little testy here. 1:37 left to play here in this third period. I think Stennett just spotted his mom. She's pretty much sitting straight across from him, right here below us. He's over there in the penalty box waving at her. I'm sure he wasn't waving at me. Triad, they have the puck and the lead and the power play. 1:25 left to play here in this third period. Knights send it up into the neutral zone and find a Wyatt Oglesby. Oglesby then finds Gilliman. Gilliman into the corner will backhand it over into the far side corner. Tracked down over there by Perschbacher. Perschbacher and Jace Ferry will go after the puck. Ferry will find it and send that one back into the neutral zone. Stopped from going any farther at the red line by Ulrich. And then puck picked up there. That, by the way, would be the student body cheering section for Collinsville that you hear. They're making a lot of noise. Banging up against the glass, which I don't think is allowed here. But no one has come up to stop them yet. And clock stopped with 48.7 seconds left to play here in this third period. Stennett into the penalty box for another 55 seconds. Shot and a save by Fryman. He'll swallow it up, and that'll stop the clock with 42.9 to go. Kahok's being outshot 31-21. Face-off once again over at the far side face-off circle. Won by Collinsville initially, but then the puck comes loose, and another shot on goal. And another save by Fryman. Another face-off to the left of Fryman. Poked into the corner. Collinsville found it off of a skate and a stick all the way out to the blue line. That one's tipped away, and now we have a fight over in the corner as Duffy and McFarland go at it. And two referees over there trying to pull them apart. So the top two goal scorers are going to be in the penalty box at the same time for Collinsville. McFarland over there arguing with the referee because he doesn't think he should go to the box, but he was fighting. So when you fight in this league, you're going to the box. And now Stennett and Duffy are both going back to the locker room, and so is McFarland. Referees got a hold of that quickly. And referees are over there talking things over, and I wouldn't blame them if they just went ahead and ended this game. .6 seconds left. Collinsville trails 6-2. So the Kahawks already only had 4 players on their bench. And now 2 of their guys are done for the night. Top 2 goal scorers, Owen Stennett and Nolan Duffy. They went back to the locker rooms and took off their shells and their jerseys, and they're already back out over in the far side corner watching things. Referees are still talking things over. I don't know what they've decided. Time is still up on the clock, so I don't think that they've decided to call it yet. Well, Kitstein's going to go in the box. Probably have to serve one of those penalties. I think all this Triad called a timeout. That's why we've got a little bit of a break right now, but we're just going to go ahead and keep it here. Owen Stennett is back with his jersey on. And I think he is going to go back to the penalty box. He and Kitstein will be there. Kitstein is going to serve the Duffy penalty. But unless Triad scores here in the next 28.6 seconds, Stennett is going to finish his Kahok career in the sin bin. Well, they're going to let him finish this out. Puck shot all the way down the ice. Kadich comes out. He'll play it and send it back up into the neutral zone. And then Triad will send the puck all the way down, and it will not make it across the line for an icing. Fryman, he'll get a hold of it and send it into the corner. Collinsville will send it all the way down the ice, and that will just about do it. 3 seconds, 2-1, and there's the buzzer, and Triad will advance to round number 2 of these 1A playoffs. And Collinsville's season will come to a close, and they will finish the year with an overall record of 6-18-2. Big thank you to Jeremy Hudson. Appreciate you, sir. And we're going to transition into the post-game show brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville, or you can give them a call at 618-343-3602 or check them out online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we'd be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show. Collinsville loses this one here tonight by a final of 6-2. Triad Knights will move on, and their season will continue while Collinsville's comes to a close. Triad had back-to-back goals in the first period, just separated by 8 seconds, and that set the stage for a night that belonged to Triad. Triad then got a goal just about 35 seconds, 37 seconds into the second period. That made it a quick 3-0 score. Then Collinsville took a penalty while Triad was on the power play. Owen Stennett scored a shorthanded goal, and Collinsville was within 2 at 3-1. But then with about a little less than a minute to go in the second period, Triad scores again to make it 4-1. Back-to-back power play goals, one of those being a 5-on-3 power play goal. Gave Triad a 6-1 lead, and then Nolan Duffy scored his own power play goal with 4:45 left to go here in this third period, and that was just too little too late there for Collinsville as the Kahawks end up losing this one by a score of 6-2. Triad outshot the Kahawks in this contest 32-21. So that's going to do it for our coverage of Collinsville Kahawk hockey this year. We appreciate everyone's involvement all of the parents that helped us manning the camera, and of course Coach Duffy and all the seniors joining us for the pregame interviews when we were allowed to actually have pregame interviews. So that's going to do it for us for hockey this year. Of course, we'll be back at it next year come the beginning of November for another year of Kahok hockey. So now we turn our attention solely to the world of boys and girls basketball, and that's what we have coming up for you next. We are at Belleville West Thursday night as your Collinsville Cahoks take on the Lady Maroons from Belleville West High School. We'll be on the air around 7:15, 7:20, depending on the longevity of the JV game. And then we'll bring you the varsity contest. And then we return home Friday for more Southwestern Conference basketball action as the boys take center court at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. They're supposed to anyway against O'Fallon, but we'll see if the team can get over their sickness here between now and Friday. So my name is Todd Duke. A big thank you once again to Jeremy Hudson for manning the camera and to David Hearn for joining me on the pregame chat. Again, my name is Todd Duke. Everyone enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.